Ladies, gentlemen, welcome back. And today we've got an exciting video with the new cavalry unit, the Kriegsbruders. We're going to be looking into their victory lines, their doctrines I decided to put on them, and then we're going to be getting in some clips and just sort of talking about them, seeing if they're worth unlocking quickly or leaving them for a bit. And yeah, just having a general discussion and kind of coming to a conclusion in the end. So let's get into the victory lines. Okay, now we've been through this. These are my Kriegsbruders. They're looking pretty good. I love the way they look. Really, really nice. But let's get into the victory line and the doctrines I've got on them. Let's start with the victory line. So, at the moment, this will be reversed in the coming clips because I actually started off on the bottom line. So you'll see in the clips we do a few games with the bottom line, and then I'll show you me changing to where we are now, and the rest of the games are in the top line. I have had more success with the top line purely because having full assault back on a shorter cooldown is nice, and it helps them get more kills in, because I feel like their damage is slightly low. So being able to do it again, if you get lucky, is pretty good. So you got, like, you know, the full assault reset, just some slashing damage, some more damage on your full assault, another 20% right there, another 30% on your shield charge. That's very nice. Some more slashing damage, and then when you're the bottom line, you get these as well, but 20% on full assault and some slashing pen. So obviously that's a bit different to full assault immediately restores 10% health and restoring 10% additional health over 2 seconds. That is nice. It does make them more tanky, but they just have a tendency to suddenly die anyway, so I'd rather have the chance to go again with a full assault. And then just some more health. Some block damage will basically reduce the full assault cooldown when they block something. That's quite nice. Toughen up, just some piercing defense, more health. So they do have a lot of health when you're on bottom line. That is good, but you know, yet to kind of choose a permanent location. They both seem okay, but I'm going top for now. And then we've got reduces damage, and this is obviously that you can get this when you're top line. So yeah, that's the victory line I've gone for. In terms of stat wise, top line, they are 11,000 health. That's okay. They're about 13, I believe, when you're bottom line, or 12, like almost there, almost to 13. Strength we have 21, so that's quite nice. A big cavalry group. And then the piercing damage is penetration is 1300. Slashing pen is 1700. Slashing damage 1300. That's okay. And then defenses are kind of meh. They're in the middle. They're not hugely great, but they're not awful. So yeah, that's how that looks. Let's have a look at the doctrines. Doctrine wise, we've gone quite hard with this. We've got the cavalry doctrine 5 that gives them another ability to use. That is okay. It's not horrendous, but it just does like an extra 1,000 hit. It's okay. Then we've got a carnage doctrine that increases damage to infantry by 200 points, reduces charge by 3 seconds. We've got a gallop doctrine, increases speed by 30%, slashing damage by 90, slashing pen by 60. And then we've got a hero damage doctrine, and we got the Kriegsbruders, their own doctrine that reduces full assault's cooldown by 5 seconds. That's obviously quite nice. So that's what we've got. Right, let's go have a look at the clips. Okay, so we're in my first game with them, and we're deciding to have a little roam in. I go in straight for the charge, and this is obviously in the victory line where they get heals, but we instantly get wiped, and then we get walked very quickly. So that was not a great start. We have a few that are still roaming, but I think we hit about 20 kills with them. So not an excellent start, really. Just trying to get used to them and see how they go. The charge does hit okay, but like nothing like dagger axe lancers or something like that would do, unfortunately. Going into the next one, I'm going to charge them through these imp shields here. We get a bit of damage down, but then instantly half stack gone. I think I might have got jab throw. We did full assault after that, so you can see their health sort of going up and down slightly, but not enough to keep them alive. I see these dagger axes here. I'm going to have a little go at those and see if it's even possible to get a little bit of a kill. And actually, when you watch the health of these guys, it's like a yo-yo. It's up and down all the time. That's interesting. I mean, that's bottom line. So you still have that jumping in health with top line, but not so severely. But yeah, so now I do this. Didn't see that these were pikes. Totally mind farted it and walked straight into pikes. So that was the end of the second time I used them. And we're getting into a trend here. They're not lasting long, and I'm thinking to myself while I'm using them, I'm like, okay, let's try and make these last slightly longer and like maybe roam them a little bit, pull out sort of the you know, roam them on top of things. That's similar to like YOLO Cav. We're gonna see if we can just put them on, go for no charge, and then just hit full assault. And that works okay, but then suddenly we lose kind of half the pack pretty quickly. A lot of halberdiers, a lot of Imperial pikes about at the moment, so it's kind of hard. But we actually managed to maintain 14 of them. That's pretty good. So I send those back to the supply, and we just kind of watching what's going on with the battle. And then later on, that we'll get into the next clip now, later on in the battle right here, we're just having a look around. It's coming to the end of the battle, and I've still got my 13 of them left. And we're going to try and have a little go around the side here just to make this siege worthwhile for the testing. We put them on this this short bow here, and they kind of do a good amount of damage. They do kill him, but it was kind of slow and kind of a bit AI was a little bit clunky there. And now we're going to push to their point here. I see some guns at the back, so I'm like, okay, let's hit them with a charge them right to the back, and then full assault. So against range, really good, because they put their shields up, they don't take too much damage, and they manage to kill the lot there. But yeah, they get chomped down pretty quickly. They do get chomped down quick. That's a bit unfortunate. But nonetheless, it was an attempt, and we're at this stage still learning to play them, and that's the thing. We got to learn. Unfortunately, a loss. On this next one, now this is what sparked me to change the Vectory line to top from bottom. So we're currently bottom up till the end of this clip. Is because I was waiting here, and they're trying to push around to the supply, and so I'm sort of hiding around the back, just waiting to get the perfect charge off, and everyone leaves, so we got a clear open moment here. They've got coconut throwers at the back there. I'm going to go for the big charge. We wipe out the coconut throwers. We go through. We grab a kill, and then we click full assault. But then the lot of them just get wiped after that. Where I feel like if I'd have done that with dagger axes or something of that sort, we probably would have made it through and potentially lived or done a lot more. We could have probably put the dagger axes and pulled them through. So now we change, where I've decided, right, we're going to go top line. We need some more damage, and the reset on full assault. Maybe I can get that off more often, considering it is it gives you a damage reduction when you use it. That's nice. So now, first game with them on top line, we're going to give it a good go. Obviously, coming. I've used all my other units, so at this point I just need to get myself a clip of these guys doing something. And we're going to roam straight into some Imperial Spears that are just over here, and we're going to give it a good go and see if we can get some damage on them. We're going to run through those, click full assault. They go a bit mad, but I mean it's the Imperial Spears that, they've got very high defense, so the damage is not going to be all that great. We'll try and take the glaive out while we're here. Little close charge. We get him out. We've got our kills. I don't think we got particularly many of those. I think I already had 25 kills. And then I go in for a full assault in here and get totally wiped. I think the Mooshas and the men-at-arms together acted as a big barrier and didn't really let them do what they wanted to do. The one thing I will say about these is they're very fast. They are very, very fast that I like, but they're also... I don't know, I find them, they're not squishy like as in Perfectia Heavy Cavalry squishy. They just, it's just not hugely. Suddenly you've got a full stack and then suddenly you don't, and they just drop off massively. So I don't know what's going on there. Personally, with the buff to heavy perfecture with the 21 unit head count now, I feel like that might be a better option personally than these, just because they've got that breakthrough as they just run through. So this is the same game right here. We lost a quarter of the stack, and now we're just sort of working our way out and having a look around and trying to go out these gates here. Managed to pick up a hero kill. That's always nice. I sort of thought about in this one to try something a bit different and just let them roam themselves, because they've got quite targeting AI, similar to how the YOLO Cav targets people and sort of chases after people when you just put them on V. So I'm going to send them outside here in a second, and we're just going to let them just do their thing. Just go out and kill things. We're going to see how that works. So I must have sent them back to the supply point, but now we're heading back out. We're going to pop a little, try and like X them similar to the heavy perfection cav, and see what we can do. We're going to little charge straight there through that gap, obviously stopped by heroes, and now we're just going to full assault and let them roam. That's the plan. So we'll see how that goes. Getting attacked by a hero. I'm going to turn around in a minute so we can have a look. They're picking up 1 or 2 kills at a time. I can see them harassing. They're being quite big harassers. That's nice, because they're healing with full assault. I guess every time that's off cooldown, you press it, they're getting a good bit of healing. Then this is obviously top line, not bottom line, so it's not as much healing as they could get. But yeah, so it's sort of working out for me. The health just jumped back up, but now I've run them into a treb. Clicked full assault again. I clicked my my doctrine ability, and yeah, that was it. Just them kind of being an annoyance. But in this one, I'm really like getting annoyed of how quickly I'm getting the whole gang killed. So I'm as we get further into these clips, I am trying my hardest to hold on to these and not put them into situations where they're going to get killed, or ones where if I do put them into a situation where they're going to get killed, you know, try and get a good charge into a big clump. And I've also been checking if people have halberdiers and stuff out, but in this one I remember they didn't have them out, so I was like, yes, we can charge them straight into this big clump here. Lots of men-at-arms and Imperial shields, Imperial spears. But yeah, we pick up 16, didn't really do much, and that was that. So that was that unit lost. Moving on to this one, again, same mindset. I'm like, I've got to get a clip where I can hold these longer than a few minutes, and this is probably the best I managed to get, unfortunately, because obviously, I don't know, they feel squishy. They feel really squishy, and I'm struggling. I struggled massively with this unit, really struggled with it, and I actually took out her Perfection Heavy Cavalry after a few of these clips, once I'd finished, just to kind of comparison them, and I got on so much better with Heavy Perfection. Like, I think these guys are trying to sell themselves as being a front line, and they kind of are okay at being front line and sort of raiding little pockets like these Mooshas here. Pop them in, click full assault, and kill them. But Mooshas are an inherently very squishy unit anyway, so yeah, we managed to kill those off, and now we're gonna do a little charge down here. We've got a guy at the back killing our guns, so I'm going to see what happens if I charge him. Not much really happens with that, unfortunately. He gets himself killed by some dagger axes. And now we're going to push it onto point and try and get round the back of the shields and see if we can get some good damage in with full assault, like roam them on top of it. So we're going to go around the side here, try and get them into the gap there, and we click full assault. We land some kills, but as you can see, they're all getting staggered by something or other going on there, and we're losing we've lost a good amount now, but not enough yet. So I'm going to pop them over to these Janissaries here. We charge them over because they put their shield up, and we managed to actually wipe these Janissaries. That they're against range, really nice. This unit's really nice. I just struggle against anything that you feel like you could kill with other calves if you had a direct charge. So slightly, yeah, as I said, struggled. So now I got what have I got left? 7. I got 7 left. So I'm now thinking, let me go round the back, and then full assault them and just let them cause havoc around the back. Just do like just fight on their own. I'm not going to guide them. I'm going to send them, charge them through the gap here, and then full assault, and they should just chase after people, and you know, potentially kill some ranged units and do whatever. Because if you keep spamming full assault whenever you can, they obviously get a little bit of a heal, and they can keep themselves going. We've only got 2 units left now, but they have been. I've seen damage numbers popping up. But that is it for my little thing here. And that is it. And that is the end. Really struggled with this unit. Really struggled. It feels like it's been very changed since the PTR. But yeah, it's okay. I think dagger axes are slightly better. It's just a weird one. I'm sure there'll be people after a few days will get the hang of it and then find a really nice way to play them. And when you do, let me know. But I tried a lot of different ways, and yeah, really struggled. Tried roaming them over the top, full assaulting, tried the charging. It was really quite difficult. But you know, in the end, I had fun with this unit. I think I'm going to be playing a lot more heavy Perfection Cav, because I feel like I like the way that they're so fast. These guys are so fast, but they don't have that thing where heavy Perfection Cav hit anything, they stagger it, and they do a lot of damage. So it's kind of, by using this unit, has made me use heavy Perfection Cav and be like, oh, okay, yeah, these guys are doing well at the moment. So yeah, let me know what you think, guys. If you've enjoyed this sort of content, I'd really appreciate the sub. Take care, and I will see you in the next one.